This is the August tour of the allotment. I will start with the cucumbers. As you see, they are doing well, outdoor cucumbers. This is the most tender cucumber which I have tried outdoor after Cassandra. And it's giving more. And not bad. I had harvested a lot and is yet giving another one here. So that's it for cucumber, outdoor ones. The scallop squash or summer squash, which is called scallop or UFO, is doing well, really well. I've harvested a lot, it's already giving a few more, and more are coming yet. There you see that. Another one there, a big one here, and another one there, another one here. There's several other ones on the other side. So generally, they're doing well. Cabbages are in this state. This is the greyhound, and the other ones are growing also. We'll see how they will do. This is a Lebanese courgette, but they grow it also throughout the Middle East. In Iran especially is now. In Europe you know it as Lebanese. This year I've tried some summer squash different from the ones that already grow, and this is a different one than today. What is the UFO squash? As you see, the shape of it is like this. Very beautiful, and I will harvest a few later. Banana courgette has produced a lot of crop, and is now some of it is going to shed the marrow. It's too much for our use, but we are grateful for it. At the moment is near the late of the summer, so we will have some powdery mildew on them. Hopefully they will produce more healthy leaf. Although I have seen that they work and they produce yet even without any leaf on them. This is our green courgette, and as you see, it's producing well. This is our stripy courgette. That's the shape of the bush. Okay, our sweet corns are doing well also, as you can see there. And we have a lot more here. So far, no damage because of the squirrels, so it's alright. Rudder beans have been really good this year. They have grown a lot. And as I told that the best size for eating them is when they're small. This size is the right size. Now harvest it and just taste it. Tender, juicy. And nice. And when they grow big, they're not very good. Okay, our Cherokee Trails of Tears are also doing well. I'm keeping them just for seed because these are nice. I have harvested already a few and eaten them. And doing well. We have harvested a lot of our rhubarb, and it's growing yet. As you see, some of our potatoes are ready, so we can harvest them, but it will not stop there. And I have other potatoes. As they say, human beings are alive with hope. So I'm hoping that late July plantation of these potatoes also will give me a crop in the late October, November. Who knows, or even September I can dig them up. And yet I have planted another one in early August, another 2 rows here of potato, hoping to see if they will give us a crop also. Of course, as usual, lots of pumpkins, butternut squash, and different varieties of squash, which they will be discovered when the foliage dies back and we can see. Lots of flowers this year. Again, flowers. Putting a beautiful display for pleasure. Again, pumpkin. I'm trying to do a new experiment with the strawberries, so I've taken them out of the soil, and I will try to plant them at two different methods. One in the raised bed with a membrane around them, a weed suppressant membrane, and one is at a height, the way that I've seen in the commercial pick your own nurseries they do. You will see how they will work. The main reason for doing this because the strawberries were in the part of the allotment orchard that chickens were there, and unfortunately chickens damaged a lot of them, although we protected them. But chickens have wings, they can fly. You cut their wings, but I mean feathers, the tip of the feathers, but again they can't jump. Grapes are getting near the time of the adding sugar, although they're not yet ready yet. But we have harvested several harvests of the leaves to make dolme, the stuffed leaf, wine leaf. Red currant harvest is almost finished, just a few here and there remains. Our blueberries are yet continuing to give us crop. Our Japanese wineberry were doing really well this year. We enjoyed a lot. These are the remaining ones. I'll harvest a few now. Really refreshing. And quite sticky, sweet. The table is now the fruits are dry. Few new ones are yet coming. So I just taste it. I must say table is nothing comparable to blackberry. Not as sweet, but not bad anyway. Fig this year was not very good. It had a few, and this is the last one of them. And I'll probably remove these ones when I don't think they will have the time to come to any fruition, these ones. But that one is ripe, so we can have it. I will wait probably 1 week more for that. As you see, the asparagus this year was really good. They're now into fern shape, and I will cut them down and then remove the top to protect the weeds, so just to remove the weeds and protect them from the chickens. Later I'll put back the net. This is the second year that we have planted some Shropshire Damson, and as you see this year it is really good. Last year it had a few, and this year is much better. I think they will be ripe in the time in September probably. Although I will try one of them just to see how it is. This one. They don't look very soft. They're not completely sour, but they're not as good as when they are completely ripe. It's edible, as this is said here. This is the second one that we have. We have another one there. This is bought from the Shropshire Plant Center, and that other one was bought from the Blackberries nursery. This is our discovery apple, the first one. We have another one on the other side. Probably it's the time to harvest it. Yeah, I may harvest it today. There's another one. There's another apple there. These are dwarfing rootstock, so I don't expect them really do a lot, but it has produced some fruit. The table is dry. It's in a part of allotment, we cannot really come and water it. I try to water it this year more. I think I have to put an automatic watering system for this one. But the good news is that the blackberries are really doing well. This is the Oregon one. And they're nice. And as you see, there's more here. I'm looking forward for a good crop of this. Raspberries are yet doing well. The summer ones are finished. This is a summer and autumn one. But because we had the vandalism here, somebody pushed the fence toward the polytunnel. I had to cut they were bending toward here. I had to cut a lot of them just to make access pathway clear. So we may have lost some crop here, but I have more raspberry than just this. So not a big loss. Always we had more than what we could eat. Okay, inside the polytunnel we had a little problem with the irrigation. It was blocked, the actual valve, magnetic valve. So we have a little bit dryness here, but the tomatoes despite that are doing well. Quite chunky Russian black tomato. Quite a small beet-like tomatoes. Beautiful. Of course, some indoor cucumbers because of lack of watering, proper watering, that we had a problem here. They have not done as I expected, but okay, you do sometimes have to compromise. As usual, the Sun Gold F1 tomato is doing really well. And our bell peppers, have done really surprisingly well, despite the dry conditions. And of course, needless to say, our basils are doing well also. And polytunnel being small actually encourage the flowers. Being dry. This part of the polytunnel is also not bad. A little bit dry, but it seems tomato can cope with that. Of course, this is our second Damson, Shropshire Damson plant tree. The one that we got from the Blackmore nursery is not doing as good as the Shropshire one. That's the one we got from the Ludlow Plant Center, but yet it is doing. We have this year some crop for the pears.